Hello, everybody. It's Lynn, the Go Live Granny here. How are you all? Let's just put the comments up. Hello, Richard. Nice to see you coming in there. Hello, Elizabeth, coming in on Facebook. Richard coming in on YouTube. Excuse me. Let me get my chair organized. Oh, my goodness. There we go. So how is everybody? So I just get my other bit up here on the screen so that I can, oh dear, what's going on here? Wait a minute. That's it. Sorry, folks. So I'm live streaming. Oh, hello, Joe. Nice to see you in as well, coming in on YouTube. So Richard and Joe on YouTube, Elizabeth coming in on Facebook. I didn't give a lot of notice to go live today, so I'm not quite sure how many people we'll get in. We will see. Oh, why is it wanting me to? Oh, hang on. Sorry. You're on holiday now. Today you head back to Melbourne after a hectic few days in Murupna. So have you had a wonderful time, Joe? I hope you have. So for anybody watching in, this is the stream of the Go Live Granny, live streaming here on Tuesday the 11th of June 2024. And if you're watching now, big welcome. If you're watching in the future, do put replay. So when you're watching the replay, do put replay in the comments so that I can see and respond to you. So Joe has had a truck show on at the weekend. Absolutely amazing. Well, I had an amazing day on Sunday. I had Saturday. I had 2 early starts, and I try not to have 2 busy days in a row, but it's just how it happened because, of course, on Friday I do the workshop for Isle Access, and that's an early start. Well, it was a bonus. I thought I'd got to go in by bus this week because Jan had a network meeting, but her plans changed and she was able to pick me up and take me in as usual. But that's usually 20 to 9 pickup, which is early for me. I'm retired, but I don't mind doing it once a week, but I had to do it twice this week, but it was worth it. So on Friday I did the workshop for Isle Access, as I usually do, the crafting workshop. And we have a lovely time there, even if not many people turn up to the workshop. No, so it's actually a warm hub. It's not, the workshop isn't the main thing that goes on a Friday. The hub is the main. It's a hub set up by Isle Access, which is a charity for people with to promote things for people with disabilities, hidden or not. We're not just wheelchair users, but all sorts of people, and it's about inclusion as well. So it's a safe space where people can come and come and have a chat, come and have free coffee and tea. Just relax. And then, of course, we put the bonuses in, like there are different activities they can do, and I do the crafting. So we had a lovely, I'll say we had a lovely time. We had a little bit of an interruption, but we won't go into that. We did have a very nice time amongst ourselves. And, it's just such a nice group growing there. Now, I'm just trying to get YouTube up over here so I can watch on here, and now it's decided to log me out for some reason. It does that every now and again. It wants you to log in again, so I don't know, but you see, if I can log in on there, then probably don't need to because I can see the comments all on here. Anyway, look, so Joe's saying the show saw 320 registered trucks and a total of 50 utes and rods and 14,000 people in attendance. That was amazing. Glad you had a wonderful time, Joe. That's good, isn't it? So I'm not going to bother with this because it's not. Do you know, I've had shenanigans with all sorts of things today, and shenanigans is what I'm going to talk about in a minute. So Yes, let's ignore that over there, shall we? So yes, so Saturday, I mean, I haven't really live streamed since then because I was quite tired. So I was picked up at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, and we went over to Newport, to the recreation ground. Hi, Susan. We went to the recreation ground in Newport, the Victoria Rec, as they call it. And whenever I whenever I write Victoria Rec, or whenever I do voice to text. Whenever I put Victoria Rec, it always spells rec, WRECK. And of course, it's not WRECK. It's not that sort of rec. It's a recreation ground, and it doesn't seem to know. And my when I do voice to text, my Siri does all sorts of mistakes. So if ever I send you a message and it's got typing mistakes in it, it's not me. It's Siri. Siri does play me up a lot. But anyway, that's all part of the shenanigans that go with the Go Live Granny, isn't it? So yes, so on Saturday we got that. It was a nice day, fortunately. It did look like it might come over a bit dull, but then it didn't. It was a sort of a cloudy day, but it didn't spoil. It wasn't, wet. It was lovely. And what was amazing, that the team who run the building where we have the warm hub on a Friday, they did an amazing job. They organised the event, and so that's the team from the Newport and Carisbrooke Community Council building. Such a mouthful. Josh, Lucy, Vicky, and some. I don't know. Hi, Sam. I don't know who all the other people are. All the people involved. Obviously, there were a lot of people involved, but they were the main players, I think. They were very instrumental in getting the event organised. It was an amazing day. It was a free event, and loads and loads of people came. And the thing is, it does sadden me. As you know, I have a problem with Visit Isle of Wight, who are supposed to market the island. Why on earth don't they ever cover these things, like the free activities that are going on the island? Do you think the tourists might like to join in some of these wonderful free things? But no, Visit Isle of Wight don't bother to tell them about them, because they might have to make some effort to do that. And I don't know what their agenda is, but they do not put these things out. And it's very sad to see that. Anyway, lots of us do put the things out and we share, and if all of you can share any of these events you see when I share them, if you can share them again, it will just help to get the word out. Some people said that this event wasn't advertised. Well, I know it was advertised because I saw it and I shared it a lot. But we have to keep sharing a lot for it to be, for lots of people to see it. It depends where they're looking and how often they're on their computers, doesn't it? So anyway, so there's Sam. I met Sam on Sam coming in on Facebook there. I met Sam on Saturday. He came and introduced himself to me, which was nice, because I wouldn't have known who he was otherwise. And he was there with his tractor, and that was very nice. So Susan knew about the event because she saw it from my shares. Yes, and one thing that I'm going to I'm going to have a conversation with somebody soon, because I was having this conversation on Saturday, and I said we really, really need to build a culture of sharing, particularly on the island, or anybody who's involved with watching things on the island, because that's how we really need to market the island. This culture of sharing is sharing all the events that go on, sharing all the wonderful businesses, sharing all the things that are good about the island. Sam saying his friend from Longbridge Methodist Church says hi from your two friends, Janet and Jean. Hello, Janet and Jean. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Yes, so I started a conversation with, I had a conversation with somebody, and I said, I really, really want to really push the idea of sharing is caring, and actually encouraging as many people as we can to share any of the events, even share broadcasts like this, or share, if you see me sharing stuff out, share it all again, or if you see events going on the island that perhaps I haven't spotted, then please keep sharing. because sharing is caring, and that's how that information gets out. But you don't need to pay any money. None of the businesses and none of the events need to pay any money to get it publicized. You know, there's all too many people wanting to rip people off. And as I say, Visit Isle of Wight, you know, they tax local businesses, but they don't share the information. So we will, the Go Live Granny community will share the information big time. And so I'm having a meetup with the person. I won't name names at the minute, but I said on Saturday to, you know, I was having this conversation about how we need to have the sharing is caring. Just keep on sharing and caring and encouraging the whole community to become like that. And this friend of mine said, I'd love to help you with that. So there was an exciting conversation going to happen around that to see how we can really push that and make it happen. I know I can rely on my community to share things, because when I ask you to share, you do. But we need to get other people sharing. So we need to share, and then we need to encourage all the other people to share. So that's what that's all about. So yes, it was an amazing event. So much work went into that event, but it was just wonderful. There were so many different things there. There was a parade that came up from the town, up the high street. Of course, I wasn't out there live streaming the parade because I was inside, but I did stream the parade as it came in. But fortunately, Paddy and Vicky had streamed the parade as it came up. And Vicky, one of the organisers, and Paddy, who does a lot in Newport, he live streamed the parade, which was brilliant. And so I was able to share that. And yes, the parade was amazing. We had the Highland Pipes and Drums, the Isle of Wight Highland Pipes and Drums led the parade. We had the Medina Marching Band. We had the Vectis Corps of Drums. We had uniformed organisations. We had people with the flags, the colour, the standard colours and all that. We had some motorbikes. I don't know whether you call them motorbikes, or I get into trouble if I don't call the things the right name. But I don't know. They looked like motorbikes to me. I'm not quite sure if that's what you call them. But there were vehicles, all sorts of different things. There were tractors at the event, and that it was just amazing event. And then all day long there were things going on. I wasn't very near the stage, so I couldn't see all the things going on over there. I didn't hear the speeches properly because apparently, according to the rules, they're not allowed to have the audio up too loud, and we were further across the field, so I didn't hear the speeches. But lots of people were near the stage and heard the speeches. And then there was musicians and bands going on. All sorts of things were happening on the stage. And then all around the field, there were lots of different things. There were vehicles where you could go and get donuts or coffee or cake or those sort of things. There was somebody selling vintage clothing. There was old Isle of Wight Bus Museum had vehicles, old buses on the field that people could get on and have a look round. The other side of us, there were all sorts of uniformed people. Thank you for the thumbs up, folks. So there were uniformed people around as well, and it was just amazing. There was just so much, and I as I say, I did. The scouts were there, and I'm just trying to remember. There were just so many people there. I can't actually remember all the people that were there, but it was an amazing event. And at the end of the event, Vicky, who's one of the organisers, said to me, "Look, there's no rubbish on the field." I said, "That's because you've organised rubbish bins round." You see, some people will make that a false economy and say, "Oh well, we won't hire the rubbish bins." But then, if they don't hire the rubbish bins, people can't put their rubbish in the bin, and then some of them will drop it all over the field. And then at the end, the organisers would have to pick up all the rubbish. So, well done to them. I had a long talk with Josh, who's also one of the organisers from the Newport and Carisbrooke Council Community Council, and he was saying how brilliant their security are. Again, they used blue something security. I can't remember the title of it. You have to forgive me. And apparently they are really, really good, the people who do the security for them. And they go over and above and beyond So they're not only do they do the security, but they help extra over and above what they need to do. So that was brilliant. Oh, I mustn't forget to mention the Vectis 40s Vintage, which is a group of lots of different businesses that are based on the 40s theme. So different people dressed up, and this was inside the pavilion building, and it was amazing. I have done a show reel. I've done a reel of that, and I did a reel of the day itself, all the photographs. So I went inside and I took photographs of the people all dressed in their 40s uniform and their stands, and I think I added that to my main show reel. And do you know what? Magic happens. I've got an iPhone, and I think magic. It's just amazing. This iPhone. I was saying to somebody, when I first had a smartphone, it was not an iPhone. It was a different height. Oh, I don't know what it was called, but it was not a smartphone. And when I went to set it up, oh my goodness, it was anything but smart. And it was like, I'm going to chuck this out the window, because I was so frustrated that I couldn't get it, set up. So I thought, why did they call it a smartphone when it's not smart? Anyway, on that occasion, I had to get somebody to come round and set it all up for me. When I went to an iPhone, wow. It seems to know what to do without you even needing to tell anything, and it does it all. Well, on Saturday, I was amazed because I took loads of photographs. Some of you might understand this technology. I took loads of photographs and I put them together as a reel. When I watched it back, each photograph was like a little movie. It wasn't like a photograph, it was moving. It was all action. I know that there's a setting that's live on the photographs, so all I can assume is that was something to do with it. But I remember, I took a picture of Helen tying up the land girl onto the land girl that I'd made onto the gazebo, and it was just a photograph. But when it's on that reel, you actually see her tying it on. All the photographs came to life. Magic. Anyway, it was wonderful and I loved it. So let's have a look what's going on here. Yes, Susan saying that the track show sounds great, Joe. And she's saying you need to have rubbish bins. Doesn't make sense not to, as you'd spend more time cleaning up afterwards otherwise, and should do, as it's not right to leave a mess. Makes me so mad when rubbish is left. Yes, and actually I watched a girl yesterday walk across the green opposite me and just drop her rubbish on the floor. Now, I did call to her, but somebody was mowing grass, and I know she didn't hear me. She wasn't ignoring me. She didn't hear me. And I did wonder whether I should go over and pick the rubbish up and tell her that she'd dropped something. But, I don't know. You have to be a bit careful. You don't want anybody doing it, throwing things at my window or whatever if they think they will. So I have to be a bit careful. So anyway, Susan saying, especially by the grass area where she lives, such a shame and dangerous to the animals, especially when there's broken glass included in it. Absolutely. So that is, but it was just that they didn't have rubbish to clear. It was just lovely to see the field like that. I mean, we had a bin right next to our gazebo, and they were all round the field. They were absolutely all around the field. So that was amazing. And it just worked, having the bins really worked. So yes, so Saturday was an amazing day. I couldn't praise them enough. They've done such a tremendous job. I also had a chat with Councillor Martin Oliver. I know Martin from years ago when I used to run I used to run a network group, and he was running a finance business, and I used to promote his business as part of my network group. Anyway, he's now a councillor, and he's a county councillor, but he's also part of the Newport and Carisbrooke Community Council. Whew, that's a bit of a mouthful. And he was telling me about plans they've got for the future, and so was Josh, and it sounds amazing what's going to happen. That the Victoria Rec is a wonderfully big field, and they've got lots of plans for the future there. They've got a second field almost as big, I think, the other side of the pavilion building, which I didn't realise straight away. Excuse me just a sec. So and the field the other side is where they park the vehicles, so it was, nobody had to walk very far at all. They have a disabled toilet facility, which is brilliant for people like me. And other people, and there were, when I first went to it, I went the wrong way into the pavilion, and I thought, well, Jan had sent me to the pavilion and told me there was a disabled toilet there, and when I got there, there were steps, and I thought there must be another way, because Jan wouldn't have sent me that way. She wouldn't have sent me over there if it would have been a difficulty to get in. And yes, somebody said there's a ramp right the other end of the building. I just had to go round the other way. So the next time I went round the other way, and when I went round and up the ramp towards the toilet, that's when I found all the vintage people all dressed up and all showing off. Some of them had vintage items like the Marmite jars and all those things from years ago that people had to have look like a shop. Some of them had shops set up, or all the different equipment that was used, kitchen equipment. There was a girl there, or let's see, there was a girl there, and Travel in Time, that's her business card, and she was called Natalie Barker. And I honed in on her stand because, apart from it being nice, she'd got a knitted land girl on her stand, and I said, oh, I've got a knitted land girl. I actually finished in the wee small hours of the morning on our stand, so that made, that was a talking point. Anyway, so that's a new friend made, Travel in Time. And then this National Registration Identity Card, this is actually a business card for the Vectis 40s Vintage Group. All right, and although they're different businesses, there are several different businesses, they all do a lot of things together. So when there's something that's vintage, lots of them will all be at the same event, and they have events that they put on. Right, the 40s is a period of World War II rationing, make do and mend, super music, and new fashions. As a 1940s reenactment group, we are interested in all aspects of the 1940s. So why not join us for social events and others to raise money for charities, but most of all, enjoy yourself at the same time. See, and they've just put it on an ID card. So that was quite fun. So I will tell you about the shenanigans that I got up to today in a minute, but I had a good start to the day. I got out my knitting. So some of you will have seen that I actually did finish the land girl. So ready for Saturday, I knitted a World War II soldier and a land girl, which were fixed up on the gazebo. We had tables. We did some crafting. We helped some kiddies, and they made some poppies to go on a. Jan had bought a piece of netting that went up alongside the gazebo, and the kiddies made poppies and fixed them on there. And Jan had bought a book with World War II planes and things in it that we could fix up. And the children enjoyed coming and doing that and fixing all those things up. Actually, we didn't get so many things fixed up because some of the children wanted to take them home, and that was fair enough. We let them take them home if they wanted to. Susan's saying, wait a minute. Let's have a look. She probably knew, Lynn, and agree you have to choose your battles carefully, as it could be dangerous at a later date. Yeah, actually, I don't think she did hear me. To be honest, she was with some other children, and she had her back to me, and she was the other side of the road, and the grass was being cut along there. So in this occasion, she didn't hear me. She was wrong to drop her rubbish, definitely wrong to drop her rubbish, but she didn't hear me, so I just left it. I was chatting with Rebecca, who'd just given me a lift home. So after Saturday, I was absolutely exhausted because I'd started at 8 o'clock. I'd had a day before, and these days, where I used to run around and just get on with it, ever since I had pneumonia, I'm much more careful, and I get so tired if I'm not, don't watch it. I get incredibly tired, and so I came home, and I think I fell asleep in the chair for about 4 or 5 hours as after I got home. Um, that was in the chair, and then I did get up and go to bed after that. And the Sunday I had a restful day. I didn't try and go to any events on Sunday, although events were going on. And I decided to rest because on Monday afternoon I was doing crafting with the with Rebecca, who is the coordinator for the Embracing Age charity, which is the charity that supports and gives gifts and cards to people in care homes who don't have families. And we don't make the cards. There's lots of other people who make the cards all around the island, and they got loads and loads of cards. So we make gift boxes, and those gift boxes we're making them now ready for Christmas because we need a lot of them, and it takes a while to make a lot of them, and we're making the fancy ones. So yesterday I gave them choices and they decided to make the little handbags. So you might have seen the pictures, I don't know, of little handbags that you open them up and you can put, I think though the handbags are quite small, so they might have sweeties in, or a little, I don't know, a small present will go in those. But then we're going to make some bigger boxes as well, and gift boxes. And that was lovely. Although there were only 3 of us there yesterday afternoon, we meet up at Aspire, and there was Rebecca who picks me up and gives me a lift. When she asked me to do it, I said my one criteria is that I need a lift there and I need a lift back. So that's what happened. She gives me a lift there and back, which is great. And then so we had a lovely time there, and Pam and Rebecca and I were there, and we had a good time. And I have put a time lapse up where you can see us, what we did in sort of about an hour, all down into 22 seconds. It's just a bit of fun. So that was good. And then I decided today was going to be an easy, not do much day. Tomorrow night I'm going to hustings. There's the hustings for the for the election, for the coming election. There's hustings that I'm going to tomorrow night down at Ryde Methodist Church, and then I'm going to another set of hustings next week. But this week, just trying to take it gently, and not do too much. The time lapse looked wicked. It is amazing, Susan. It's just a button on my phone, and it's just such fun. It will be boring just to sit and see us, sticking bits together just like that. But when it's done as a time lapse, it sort of people think it's a bit of fun. So anyway, I'm back in knitting mode again, and what I found is that I have bits of the day when I just like to watch TV, and if I'm watching TV, I can knit. If I'm crafting, sometimes I don't watch TV very well because I need to concentrate on my crafting. So then I wouldn't have something on the TV that I really wanted to pay too much attention to, if you get what I mean. So anyway, this morning I decided that I was going to knit. I had taken my knitting on Saturday to knit in the marquee, but I never actually did any knitting in the marquee. I should have done, because it was National Knit in Public Day, and that's why I took my knitting, but never actually. I finished the Land Girl in the wee small hours of the morning, ready for the event, and I think perhaps I was knitted out. I don't know. Anyway, this morning I decided that before I did anything very much, I was going to watch Morning Live, and I was knitting. So this is what I was knitting, and it's a strawberry. Well, it will be when it's finished. So this is one of my favourite knitting books, 100 Little Knitted Projects, and I have knitted about 50 of these. Out of, they mentioned the national end. Susan, did you not? You didn't finish that off? What did you mean to put there? Obviously, I'm not quite sure what you meant. Anyway, I expect you'll probably tell me in a minute. So this book is amazing. Loads of little toys in this book, and I've made so many of them. And then I noticed on online when I was just looking at things that on the Embracing Age page, some people have done some knitting, and then I remembered that one of the projects that they're doing is having themed boxes, and You hit the button at the wrong time. They mentioned the National Knitting Public Day on Sewing Street on Saturday. Oh, do you know what? Oh no, it's not yet. I might not. I might not go. Oh, it's National Sewing. It's National Sewing Bee tonight, and I've forgotten. And I'm going to clash with it. Got 10 minutes before the National Sewing Bee, so I might finish early tonight. But I have to tell you about my shenanigans. So, but anyway, so I noticed on the Embracing Age page that they had these themed boxes. So when I said to Rebecca, what's a themed box, and she explained to me, then I thought, oh, I can do that. So it's basically a box of items that do have a theme. Oh, Susan set Sewing Bee ready to record. Well done, you. The themed boxes that they want is they have dementia patients and not dementia folk in the care homes. Some of the people in the care homes who don't have any families are dementia, have dementia, and lots of nice soft knitted things are great for them. And so they're having things in different themes. So I thought I'd do a themed box with some fruit in it. Have you've seen my? Oh, let me go and get it. I think you've all seen my my hat. This is the hat that I was wearing last year or the year before when it was National Knitting Public Day. Let me just go and get it. Talk amongst yourselves, and I will be back because I know exactly where it is, which is good. So I'm just on my way back. Coming back. I know a lot of you have already seen my hat that I like to wear when it's National Knitting Public Day. So this is my incredible edible hat. Okay, and I'm going to tell the story of it again for anybody who doesn't know the story of this hat. This hat once had fruit all over it, just fruit. And I knitted it for the county show when they had a competition to create in any art and craft form different categories, and one of them was fruit and veg. Was it fruit and veg? Yes. Oh, it was fruit and veg. That's right. So yes, this was originally fruit and veg, but it's now got a sandwich. It's got some sausages. It's got a pizza. It's a sandwich, a piece of pizza. We got cakes. We've got but we have got fruit and veg. Lots of fruit and veg. More cakes. There's a chocolate eclair there. All sorts of things. And it was originally just fruit and veg because this competition, it was horticulture. It was, normally they have horticulture things, but at the county show they had it as horticulture, and the idea was to create in any art or craft form, and there were different categories, but this was the category that was fruit and veg. And I decided that everybody would put their stuff in a trug, because usually fruit and veg, if somebody was going to do it, naturally you'd think of a trug and put all the fruit and veg in a trug or a fruit bowl or something like that. But of course, you know me, I never do what everybody else does. I don't do the norm, do I? And so I not do it wanting to do the norm. I had to think out of the box. And then I thought of a turban. And I thought, well, how on earth am I going to make a turban? Like Carmen Miranda. And I made this beautiful hat that had fruit and veg. No cake. It didn't have cakes. It didn't have sausages. It didn't have sandwiches on it. It was all fruit and veg. And it had the most beautiful pineapples, coming up out the middle, with all the leaves of the pineapple on it. It was, although I say so myself, it was pretty fantastic. And I loved it. So why doesn't it look like that now? Well, the reason it doesn't look like that now is because my son and his fiance came down to stay with me, and while they were there, they'd obviously told their friend about the things that I make, and their friend had a kitchen display shop, and the friend wanted some of my fruit and veg to put on display in their kitchen display shop. And I could have made it and then sent it, but that seemed silly. I would have to pay postage to send it. So I said to my son and his fiance, I said, well, what do they want? And then I cut those bits of fruit off and gave them to take them back to their friends, so I didn't have to pay the postage. And I perfectly intending to put all the same fruit back again. But then a short while later, before I'd had time to do that, I needed a hat. I was going to wear a hat event, or it was a church. Somebody had asked me to make a hat for the wear a hat event, which is to do with charity, to do with brain tumours. And I made her hat, and then I decided I ought to go to the church service and wear my own hat. But I couldn't wear it half baked, well, half done, could I? You know, it had gaps all over it. And I didn't have time to make a lot. But I looked round my room, and there I'd got a knitted banana and a knitted sandwich, like you do having around, you know. Well, you do when you're like me and you've been knitting for charities and all sorts of things. You do have, oh, look, there's a knitted sandwich, and there's a knitted banana over there, and there's a knitted string of sausages. And so that's how the hat became this sort of hat. And I now call it my incredible edible hat. And I just love making things like this. And so this I knitted this morning while I was watching Morning Live, and that's going to be a strawberry. And look, there's an apple there. There's a lovely melon in this book. And then I've got other books with fruit and veg in. Oh, look, there's a pear and other things. Let me show you the melon. I don't know what page the melon is. Oh, maybe it was before the strawberry. Was it? There's cakes. Let's see what page the melon is on, because the melon is amazing. Oh, there's a picture of the melon down the bottom there on the look. There we go. So I will be making a box full of fruit. I might do one as fruit and one as veg, or I might put it all together as a fruit and veg box. But that's what I will be doing when I'm not doing anything else much. So anyway, shenanigans. Do you want to hear the shenanigans? That's what I'm supposed to be talking about. So up until recently, I've done all my shopping online. During pandemic, I learned to do all my shopping online, obviously, because we couldn't go out and about, so did lots of shopping online. And then I continue to do my shopping online even after that, because it was just so easy. You know, they deliver it. I don't have to go and get it. I don't have to walk around the shop and get it, and don't have to, get it home. I just get it, delivered to the door. And if I get the right delivery guy, the lovely Matt, who works for Morrison's, when he comes, he carries it up my stairs and right into my kitchen for me. And he watches. He's now a viewer of Go Live Granny Community, and we have a nice chat and all that. So anyway. I've now, so of course, and some of you will know that I do. I've got. I'm always encouraging you to sign up for cashback, because wait a minute. Here we go. Look there. If you haven't joined up for Top Cashback, there I get money back off my shopping from the supermarkets and from lots of other shops, and it seems silly not to. It's not a huge fortune, but it's better than a poke in the eye with a burnt stick, as my gran used to say. So and you mainly get that when you shop online. But I have found that if I go to Iceland on a Tuesday, I get 10% off my shopping because I'm a senior, rather than a much smaller amount. I think Iceland is one of the smallest ones on Top Cash, and don't get so much. So I've decided that on a Tuesday I might go and do my shopping over there. Well, it's the last week of the month, and it's pension day on Friday. And I spotted that I could actually get a voucher. But I don't get cash back on the voucher, but sometimes I use ClearPay. I don't know if any of you use ClearPay. ClearPay is a system where you can spread the cost of your shopping over 4 payments, so 2 in 1 month and 2 in the next month, so every fortnight I think it is. So it spaces it out. Well, it's pension day on Friday, and I normally wouldn't shop today. I would wait till Friday, but Friday, of course, I don't get the 10% discount. So I decided to go to Iceland today, to get the 10%, because some of the Slimming World stuff I love the Muller Light yogurts, and some of the Slimming World stuff comes from Iceland. Some of it's in more other shops, but the specific Slimming World stuff, some of it only comes from Iceland. But they have offers on the Muller Light and some of the cheeses that I have for Slimming World. So I spotted on ClearPay a new thing where you could buy a voucher, a gift card. So I decided to buy a £50 gift card on ClearPay, because I only had to pay a quarter of it today, and you don't pay any more. There's no interest on these things as long as you pay them on the dates they're due. You see, so I work it out. That's how I sort of do my finances, and so I could get £50 of shopping today and pay £12.50. And the rest will come. And in fact, what I might do when my pension comes in on Friday, I might just pay the £50 off, or I might just let it go, over 4 weeks. Anyway, so I did it, and it took me ages. I was going to go to Iceland early this morning. I thought, I'll go on the 9:30 bus. The nearest bus to me, the one that's only 3 minutes walk to the bus stop, goes on the half hour every hour during the day, except it doesn't go at 3:30. There's no 3:30 bus. I think is it 3:30 or 2:30? There's one that 1 hour it doesn't go for some silly reason, and I'm not quite sure why. Anyway, so I was going to go at 9:30, and then I was doing a bit of knitting, and I decided no, I wouldn't go at 9:30. I'd go at 10:30, and then I was carrying on with something else, and I thought no, I won't go at 10:30. I'll go at 11:30. And long story short, I finally went on the 1:30 bus. But before that, I suddenly saw this thing about this £50, and I needed to buy the voucher and do whatever I needed to do. And then, of course, I couldn't log into one of the accounts, because don't you always find that you go to log into something and then it says no, we don't recognize your password, and this and that and the other. Oh, all the shenanigans of actually buying the voucher first. And then I got the voucher, and I thought, right, well, I'm going to photograph the voucher, because the signal's not very good in Iceland. And if I'm trying to find the voucher and the signal goes down, I'm not going to have the voucher. And then I don't want to have to either put all the shopping back or not be able to have it, because I've already got the £50. I would. I think you understand what I mean. And so I did a photograph. I put it on Google Photographs. So I get to the till, done all my shopping, huge a basket propped onto my Navy Nora shopping trolley, and I'd added it up as I went round, and I'd got to £50. And then I suddenly remembered, of course, I got 10% discount come off. So if they took the 10% discount off, it would be less than £50. And I wasn't sure whether, if I got a gift card, whether they would give me anything back if it was a £50 gift card. I hadn't worked that one out. So I thought, well, I better go over 50. So when the money comes off, it's just... So I got to the point where I actually had to pay £51.89 or something like that. That included the discount. So I give him my phone, and you might have guessed what happened. He decided it wasn't going to scan the barcode. It was a photograph, but also it's the chap on the till. His name is Lee. He was so tolerant and so patient, but also the whole system is a bit silly, because you can't pick. You have to scan, if in order to get your bonus, you have to scan your bonus card, and some people have got it on their phone anyway, and the thing doesn't come off. You can't pick it up and scan it like that. It's stuck in a bit that pokes through the counter. So it's very awkward to do anyway. So this awkward system, and then my phone decided it was not going to let them scan. Sorry, I haven't got the comments on, because I put the ticker bar on. um, Susan saying, I always have issues logging into something where passwords are concerned, an internet signal in Newport. Oh, you don't mean just me, I think you mean everybody. And you've got the internet signal in Newport with the O2 lately is terrible. I'm with 3, and it seems to be a bit of in Iceland, it seems to be that of an issue. So Lee was very tolerant. I had let a lady go in front of me who had only 2 items, and then I think I'd let 2 ladies. No, only one lady I'd let go in front of me who only had 2 items. It was quite busy at this time, because you will imagine it's quite busy when I'm going to have a Shenanigans. So the lady in front of me went, and then I'd done all my shopping, and it came, as I say, I'd got it right on the calculator, so it was £51.89. So I fortunately had a little bit of cash in my bag. I knew I'd got enough to just go over that little bit. So it wouldn't scan. So I said, oh, what should we do now? I said, I could probably go in and find the voucher and bring, get the actual voucher. That was easier said than done. So Lee suspended the ticket, my sale. He didn't make me put all the shopping back, or he didn't cancel that. He put the receipt there, and he was able to do a system where he just put it on hold, I suppose. And my shopping was on the end of the till. That's all right, Tracy. You're just in time to hear the Shenanigans. I've only just got round to the Shenanigans. We've been 47 minutes live, and I'm just getting to the Shenanigans now. So as I say, the photograph of the voucher wouldn't scan. So he puts all the stuff over there, and then I'm just at the end of the till. Now I'm thinking, right, where will I find the actual original voucher? Because, of course, I'm shopping in Iceland. I bought the voucher via ClearPay, but I bought it from a company called Prezi, which is one of the companies that you can use ClearPay with to split the payment up. So I'm thinking there, I suddenly had a mental blank. Where am I going to find the actual voucher? And of course, at this point, the internet signal is going like this. And Susan's saying certain stores she found the internet doesn't work, and does make you question why, particularly as some stores you need your phone to either log what you're buying or get your store cards, etc. I just thought, when all this was happening, I thought, this is going to make a good live stream. My family, my community loves Shenanigans, which is why I decided I must come live tonight, and then totally forgot that the sewing bee was on. But I'll watch the sewing bee afterwards. I'll watch it on replay. That's brilliant. Oh my goodness, Lynn, you've not had Shenanigans, have you? Yes, yes. Not like me at all. No. So Tracy, you just came in a bit late. So I'll tell you what happened briefly. I decided to go to Iceland because it was on. So we're just doing a quick go over it again, because Tracy came in late, and she doesn't want to have to go back if I can tell her. So I decided that I wanted to go to Iceland and get quite a bit of shopping and get my 10% for oldies on a Tuesday. But it's not pension day till Friday. But I noticed that I could buy a £50 voucher from Iceland using my ClearPay account. And ClearPay is a system where you can split your payment over 4 payments, one today, one in 2 weeks' time, one in 4 weeks' time, and one in 6 weeks' time. So it puts 2 payments in this month and 2 payments in the next month. And so I thought, well, that would be good, because it's not worth me going into Iceland and then buying £10 worth of stuff. It's not worth the effort of going out, because that would only be £1 discount. So I thought, if I did a £50 shop, then I've got, you know, I've got all my lovely yogurts and bits and pieces I want for my slimming stuff, and you know, I can stay on track very well. So that's what I did, Tracy. So that's just bringing you up to date. But when I went to the till, I'd photographed the voucher so that it was easy, because I knew the signal was bad in there, but the photograph would not scan. And as I say, it wasn't even easy to do it, because you had to poke it through this hole in the plastic. You know, he's the other side, and I don't know what that bit of plastic's there for, because it's not like it comes right up and covered like when we were in COVID, or you know, those situations after COVID where we wanted to protect everybody. It's a silly bit of plastic like that. I don't know what it's doing. And this stupid thing is stuck in. I mean, even Lee, the cashier, said it was stupid because it was such a different angle. Anyway, so I refused to get in a flap, and I thought, well, you know, I just said to him, can I sort this out over there if you put my shopping there? And so that's what he did. And he got quite a queue at this point. So there was quite a queue anyway. I didn't make most of the queue. It was already there. So anyway, everybody was able to get round me. But I sat there and I think, well, where is it? Where is the voucher? So I went into my Gmail account to see whether I'd got confirmation of my voucher. And I couldn't work out while I was sitting there, where actually is the voucher? So it was ages. And then I went into things, then I had to log into something, and then it decided I wasn't logged in properly. That wasn't my password, although I know it was my password, because I have a main password that I get into, where I've got a little vault where all my passwords are, but I have to use my main password to get into the vault to find the passwords for each of these things. So I was faffing around, and in the end, I found the contact us. The voucher was from Prezi, the company called Prezi. So in the end, I got to Prezi, and there was a ring us. So I rang, and then it gave me a recorded message of what to do. And I had to do various things, and I had to do it more than once, because of course it never works the first time, does it? So I did all that, and I was going through all the processes of, you know, how I was going to get there. Was it ClearPay, or was it the Prezi, or was it, you know, was it Iceland? Had it come up on Iceland? No, I knew it wouldn't be on the Iceland website, because I'd bought it through the ClearPay and Prezi. Oh my goodness! And then by this time, another girl, they'd sent a girl over to see if she could help me with any of it. But by the time she arrived, I'd actually worked it out. I said, I'm almost there. I said, I think I've got it. So I found it. And we scanned it. By the time I went to scan it, my friend was in the queue, and she was at the front of the queue. Barbara, whose daughter set up the Embracing AIDS charities, she was actually there. So she said, oh, what are you doing? I said, oh, just causing a stir and shenanigans, of course. So we had a bit of a giggle, and then I finished my shopping, and then I went. By this, I had wanted to get the 37 bus back again. I went down on the 37 bus, but the 37 bus goes. It comes to me at my bus stop at 2:30. Then it gets into town by about 2:45, just after 2:45. And if I want to get on the next bus, the next bus going home, it comes at about 5 or 10 past. And I thought, there's no way I can do my shopping in that space, you know, like 15 minutes. I've also got to walk back to the bus stop. So I thought, no, I'll wait for the hour round one, an hour and 15 minutes. Well, of course, I filled up a lot of that time faffing about looking for my voucher. Anyway, I still had about 15 or 20 minutes, and I only needed about 5 to get to the bus stop. So I popped into Iceland. No, I'd been in Iceland. I popped into Poundland. Oh, no, before I went to Poundland, I went to the veggie shop. I'd already bought some vegetables in Iceland, because I want, you know, all part of that £50 I spent. But the greengrocers just along has some special offer bowls outside there, £1, and there were some lovely Isle of Wight tomatoes, the yellow ones, and the little plum tomatoes, and they look gorgeous, and they were £1. and no, before that I got some grapes, and somebody came and came and had a chat with me, and it was somebody I met oh years a year ago, a couple of years ago, down in the gift shop. No, it was before I had pneumonia, so it was more than a year ago. So it would have been the year before. It would have been 2022, and this chap came and said hello to me, and I knew what he was going to say because I'd had a conversation in the gift shop, number 66, the other, recently. So I knew what he was going to say, and he said, "Oh, Lynn," he said, "I just want to say a big thank you to you." And then he told me, he said, "Do you remember when I was you met me in the gift shop? Well, there was a lovely lady that was he knew, a friend of his, that was in the gift shop at the same time, and I got to know them, and we were having a bit of shenanigans and a bit of giggles and laughter and all that. And I did some live streaming with them, because that's what I do. I'm a go live granny. It does what it says on the tin." So anyway, we'd had a bit of a shenanigans and a laughter there. Well, I had heard, very sadly, the lady had passed, and lady from the shop had told me that. So when he started this conversation, I knew what he was going to say, and he was going to tell me that the lady had passed. But what he was saying was, "I'm so glad that you did that video, that live stream, with the friend." And he then went back into all my videos and searched for the video so that he could have those memories. So isn't that nice, that it was just something that just happened years ago, and it gave extra pleasure again to that gentleman, so that he could see his friend in happier times and have those wonderful memories. So that warmed the cockles of my heart. But he was talking to me while I was outside the greengrocers, and of course by this time I had got all my Iceland shopping piled up. I'd got an insulated bag on top of Navy Nora, and I got some of the shopping in Navy Nora and some on the top, and going into the greengrocers, so that the bowls of fruit are outside, and going in is a bit of a dip down and a dip up. So I said to him, I said, "You couldn't do me a favor?" I said, "Could you just, if I give you my £1, could you just run in and pay for that in the shop?" So he did that for me. That was very nice. And then, of course, I went the other side of the shop where there's some more bowls, and I spotted the tomatoes. I said, "Oh, you couldn't go in and do these for me as well, could you?" So he did those, and I was very grateful to him for helping me. He was grateful for me to helping him. So it was just a win-win all round. And then he went on his merry way. I popped into the Aspire shop because I'd still got I got enough time to go into Aspire, look at the craft stuff that's in there, because they have a lot of craft items in there. But I managed to be the last of the big spenders, and I spent 20p and it was on a little wreath. It was lots of a little metallic wreath, and it would have cost a lot more if I'd bought one new, but it hadn't been used, I don't think, and it was just wonderful. It will come in on somebody's card or somebody's gift box. So the last of the big spenders at 20p. Then I went into Poundland, and the other day I bought a nice box with a lid, because I'm trying to house all my stuff. As you can see, I've got so much still to house from all that big stash I bought, a few weeks ago. Still trying to get it all away. I'm doing all right. I'm getting there. I'm sort of trying to get organised as we go along. Got all the little boxes up the top there. I've got these, this is a bit tidier, this area now. These little boxes, some of them are missing out of the thing, because I moved that the other day to get to the behind. There's lots of pads of paper, for making all my boxes and my cards. And I moved it, and of course I ticked it, and half the boxes fell on the floor, and some of them are still down on the floor because I haven't been down to tidy it up. So that we have shenanigans in here as well. Avalanches all the time. But I bought the other day. I bought a grey box. I've got some in my bedroom with lids on, because my craft stuff is everywhere. And I bought one, and I thought, oh, I want one of those. Of course, I go in, and they've got the bottoms, but not the lids. So that didn't work, because it's no good. I need the lids on it so I can put the lid on it and stack the next one on it, and it didn't work. Anyway, they were sort of like a grey weave, basket weave type thing. So I thought, oh well, okay, I'll buy. They got some sort of like the see-through sort of boxes, and I thought, well, I'll have some of those. I do have a lot of the really useful ones that really stack very nicely, but they're more expensive. And I thought, oh, let's just try to get another box for now to put some more stuff in. And so I got that. And then, of course, I've got to balance that on my trolley as well. So I decided if I lifted up the shopping, I could put the box underneath and put the shopping bag on the top. So that's what I did. And I got to the bus stop, and I had plenty of time to spare at the bus stop. So I had time to sit down and chill out and relax a bit before the bus came. And then the bus, if I get on the 37, I could get on the 9 and be home much quicker. But the 9, I have to walk 10 minutes, and it goes uphill and then downhill and uphill again. It doesn't look like it's much, but it is quite a bit. Whereas if I go on the 37, it takes me all around the outside of Ryde, but it's quite scenic. It's lovely in green fields and all that. So I like that. I also always have conversations with nice people on the bus, because it's like because it goes round our estate. It's and there are a lot of us oldies on the estate. We get to know each other. It's like a mobile community centre. So I always have nice conversations with people on the bus, and then it's 3 minutes walk up the road. So that was fine. So that's what I've done. I haven't done much else. I do want to do some. I might do a bit of crafting before I go to bed, or I might go to bed and get up early and craft tomorrow. I've got a few cards and bits and pieces to do. I've got a few projects. I've written them down because otherwise I keep forgetting what I've got to make. And then if I haven't got anything specific to make, I can be making some more boxes for Embracing Age charity, which will be nice. So that's really caught up. But that was the shenanigans that went on in Iceland today. So I have decided, if I do that again, and if I if I want to put it onto ClearPay next time and do it that way with a voucher, I will take a photograph, but I will also, when I get confirmation however, I will send it to myself on my emails, so that it will be at the top of my emails. It will be, right at the top of the emails, so that I can open an email and find the voucher much more easily. I think that's the answer. Or write down where it actually is, but then you see, I don't want to be logging into things. Why didn't I get a delivery? Why didn't I get a delivery of shopping? Oh, you missed that bit, Tracy. Because oldies get 10% discount on a Tuesday. And Iceland don't give very much away on the top cash. Their percentage is tiny. So I could do top cash back and get a delivery. But if I do quite a big shop, it's not worth me going down to the shop and saying, well, it's Tuesday, my pension's coming on Friday, so I don't want to spend very much. Right, I'll go all the way down there and buy £10 worth of stuff and get £1 off. That's not much good. But if I do £50 worth of shopping, I feel that's a better deal. So does that make sense, Tracy? Do you think it makes any sense? I don't know whether I make any sense. Yes, I can get a home delivery. In fact, I probably could have paid for, but yeah, no. So I can get a home delivery, but I suppose I could have asked them to deliver it as well, because you can shop in there and then get them to deliver it. But you know what? I wanted the stuff to bring home, and I thought I could manage it, so I did manage it. Did that make any sense to you, Tracy? Susan says she had an issue with Sainsbury's one day when had to take something back. It took you ages to find the email relating to the delivery where I'd had an issue. I had to go outside. I had no signal. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, we rely on our phones so much and the signals. And then, that's why I took a photograph of the voucher, because I thought, if the signal dies when I'm in the shop, my voucher's in my phone. And then what am I going to do? Because I didn't want to put anything else on my card until, my pensions come in. I didn't want to risk going over or anything like that, or being embarrassed. So not that I embarrass very easily these days anyway. I wasn't even embarrassed when I was in the shop. The shop assistant, he was just so lovely. His name, I said, "What's your name?" He said, "Lee." I said, "I'll give you a shout out on my broadcast later." I said, "Because you've been so pleasant about this and not getting grumpy with me." Yes, that's right. So Susan's saying, wouldn't they have delivered your shopping free if you shopped in store as used to do it? Yes, I think they would. If you spent £25 or over, you can take bits home if you need something. Oh yes, I don't know why I didn't think of that, because that's what I always used to do. I used to go into the store before the days of getting all my shopping coming. I would go into the shop and choose my shopping, and then ask them to deliver it to me, and then they would tell me what sort of time. I don't know, because it doesn't say. They used to have the times up of when they could deliver, so I don't know whether they do deliver now, but just don't put the times up. And I don't know. Yeah, I will remember for next time. But actually, I didn't mind bringing my shopping home. It was fine. I managed it. I didn't lose anything. I didn't have any apples rolling away or tomatoes rolling down the bus. There was a time I had a tomato rolling down the bus. It was years ago, and I was um, I was doing Snapchat at the time, and I was doing Snapchat stories, and when this tomato rolled off down, what had happened? I'd got these days. I if I use a bag on top of my trolley, I use one that's a bit more solid, that doesn't collapse. Some of those bags collapse, don't they? But on this occasion, I had a bag that collapsed, so I'd got stuff on the top. It was in the days of Lilac Lil. Um, um, I'd put something. I'd got on the bus. I think I had to stand too. I think there were not spaces on the bus. I think so. This is what I remember. And I let go of the handle, and the bag collapsed, and this tomato fell off and rolled down the bus. I managed to get it back, but then I went on to do a story on Snapchat about the runaway tomato, and I ended up doing, you could do all these features on Snapchat. I don't know if any of you know. I don't do Snapchat these days, but I did, and I used to I put a face on the tomato and make him sad because he was a runaway tomato, and I kept this story going for quite a while, and then I was going up to London when my family lived in London, and I can remember the children. They were quite young at the time, my grandchildren, and they got involved and with helping me make the pictures on the fruit and putting faces on the tomatoes. And then we introduced, I think it was Archie and somebody else, Avocado, and they were the long lost cousins of the runaway tomato and all that sort of thing. I just got I got so involved with it. It was just such fun. Not sure on that one. Susan says she's not sure on that one. Haven't been to Riot Store for ages, and the food warehouse has never advertised the same kind of shop in store and have delivery like that the little store in town used to do. Right. Well, I don't know. Maybe they don't, because you can have online deliveries. Maybe they just don't do that take home delivery anymore. I don't know. I will ask next time. But as I say, next time, if I'm going to have a voucher, I will photograph it, and the photograph might or might not work next time, but I will also send it to myself as an email. So it's right at the top of my list of email. I very rarely clear my inbox. I have so much storage on, that I don't need to clear my inbox very often. And maybe I should. Note to self, clear the inbox, and then you might find any. But I don't, you see, I couldn't even remember what the process was. Would it have come up under ClearPay, or would it have come up under the Prezi business? And of course, that was a new company I was dealing with. I'd never dealt with before. And then had I got to go into a Prezi app, or had I got to find it on the website or whatever? It was just all too much. But I thought it would make you laugh. So there we go. So. And what's everybody else been up to date? Before I go, I should go in a minute and get myself I've got a drink here, haven't I? Let me have a bit more of my drink. And of course, in all the shenanigans, I've got this scan to win £100 of bonus points. Hello, Shane. And in all the Shane, was it you I met on Saturday? I think I've been muddling Shane and Sam up. So Shane, did I meet you on Saturday? And if I did, I'll apologise, because Sam was in the broadcast on Facebook, and you're coming here. And is it you, Shane, that has the lawnmowers? It is. I think I got the wrong person. I think I've been talking to Sam as though he was you, and I got myself muddled up. Even more shenanigans. Anyway, of course, when I was in Iceland, I forgot to scan my bonus. Oh, mind you, wait a minute. No, they scanned my bonus card to know that I was a senior, so that gave me the discount. But this says scan your bonus card app to try and win £100 of bonus points. And in all the shenanigans, I didn't scan my app, but I did scan my app when I went in Poundland, because we are fortunate enough. Any of you living on the island, did you know that the Isle of Wight and Northern Ireland are piloting an app for Poundland? And so sorry, I just had a mental block. Yeah, so there are some deals. If you've got the Poundland app, there are some deals. Right, Shane. Right, you're not Sam. I apologise, Shane. I got totally muddled up. You know, I do have these mental blocks sometimes, and I was talking to Sam as though it was you, and I apologise. It was Shane that I met on Saturday. Shane came up to me and introduced himself as one of my viewers, and he had his tractor at the event, and he likes mowers and tractors. So I apologise, Shane. Please take my apology. I do get forgetful. I do get muddled up these days, so I apologise. And I'll apologise to Sam that I thought he was the mower man. So there we go. Anyway, so folks, that was the shenanigans. Right, so Susan says she signed up for that Poundland app, but what can we get? Right. It's annoying you can't use it on the self-scan tills, though. It has to be a man till only. Found that out the hard way with the big shopping. See, I don't ever like using the self-scan, because I'm not paid to be a cashier to do the scanning. I like somebody to wait on me and help me, so I always go to the other tills anyway. So yes, if you have that on your phone, you do have to use a checkout, and it gives you points, and it also gives you discount on some items. So it's what they call perks, Poundland perks, and every now and again they change what you can get. So this week, I mean, I didn't actually run around the store getting things. I thought I'd go in there another day because I was watching the time for the bus. But you know, for example, there was the toothpaste that I was going to buy. We'll have 25p off it if you use the perks thing. And there's a few things with discounts on, and usually there's something on there that I have. I don't buy stuff I wouldn't buy anyway. So yes, so you'll get them at a discount price. Right. Oh, Shane, I'm sure I have put that video up. I will have a look, because maybe it's. I'm sure I have shared it. Shane, I did it on Facebook. I don't know if I've downloaded it and uploaded it to YouTube yet. So if you'll find it, you might find it on the Isle of Wight. Oh, let's have a look. Let's see if I can see it. So I don't know, and I don't know if I'm going to be required to log in, because something's gone funny with my big computer. Let's have a look. Let's see if I can log into Facebook. I don't know if I can do this now. No, I think it's going to play up. It's logged me out of everything. Oh yeah, it's logged me out of everything. I don't know what's going on. right, Shenanigans. Right, we'll leave that. So basically, Sam, it is on YouTube. Let's see. I'm just going to look because I'm now on YouTube. So that's funny. I was trying to log into YouTube and it said I had to start all over again. And then I closed something down and now I've got YouTube and Facebook up here. Shenanigans all the time. Let's have a look and see what I've got on my channel. See if it's on. If it's not, it means I haven't downloaded it yet onto here. Wait a minute. Or I might have done but not put it. No, I think. Wait a minute. Let's have a look. No, I don't think it's up there yet. Not on YouTube. I think you'll have to find it on video. I'll tell you what. I'll try and do it in a minute. I think I'll try and down because I did it as a Facebook Live. When I'm at home at my desk, I can go in through StreamYard and do Facebook and YouTube at the same time. When I'm out on the field, I haven't learned whether I can do that or not. And so I need to study it a bit more. So, but I went on Facebook Live. If I do it on Facebook Live, I then have to watch it on the computer and download it and then upload it to YouTube. So that's what you don't do Facebook. Don't worry then, Shane. What I will do is I will download it and then upload it onto YouTube. I might, if I can do it now without any shenanigans, I will do it now. Otherwise, it will be tomorrow. All right, Shane. Apologies for that. But I know that I've shared I also shared Paddy McHugh live stream the parade coming up the road, and Vicky live streamed some of it, and I know I've shared those, but that will be on Facebook. So I will see what I can do. All right. So it might be tonight, Shane, or it might be tomorrow. Okay, but I'll give it a go. All right. Anyway, I'm going to go now and go and chill out, and then once the sewing bee is over, I will watch it on replay because obviously I forgot it was on when I timed this, and. Of course, for those of you who aren't aware, one of the competitors on the Great Sewing Bee, whatever it's called, is a councillor here in Ryde. She's one of our town councillors, Georgie Carter, who not last week but the week before she got the Garment of the Week, which was wonderful, and she was sort of in the middle somewhere with her garments last week, so she didn't, she's still in the competition. I did meet her the other day after she'd got Garment of the Week, and I put lovely comments out about her online. She came up to me and she said, "Oh, that was lovely." I said, I don't want to know. I'm sure you can't tell us the result, but I said, I don't want to know, even if you thought you were going to tell me. I just want to see what happens. So I shall watch Georgie, and but perhaps I'll start knitting the melon or a lemon or something else to go with my fruit. Or I might sew up my strawberry while I'm watching. I can do that because that's not too taxing. I can do knitting while I'm watching those things, but crafting, if I'm crafting, I need to watch more what I'm doing. When I knit, I can knit almost without looking too much at my work. So anyway, folks, I hope you've enjoyed the live stream this evening. I've enjoyed chatting with you again. So I'm not quite sure when I shall stream again, but I'll try and get that video up shortly, Shane, and see if I can. Otherwise it will be tomorrow. Okay, so for now I am going to go and chill out and find my next knitting assignment, find out some little bit of stuffing to make this, and some little yellow wool to make the little the little pips on this, and there we go. We'll see how we go. Ooh, and I've just spotted the chimp on here. Right, the chimp on there, and I remember somebody on my online chat who calls her name on one of the things is chimp, and she spotted that on this book, or she spotted me with one of these chimps, and she said, "Oh, I'd like one of those." So that's just reminded me I need to put that on my list of things to make. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me, and take care, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye.